Ooh, I know some. Wow, we have some mathematicians here. Okay, so the story for today is going to interest you. It's about a boy whose name is Canaan. Okay, is he young? Is he young or old? Old? How does he look? Young, right? He's a young boy, and he's very smart. But you know what? He puts God first in his life. And he says, I am a part of God's great plan. Do you believe that for yourself? Yes, right? You are very special. God made you, and he has a purpose for you in this world. So here in this university, or in this part of the world, they have many inventors. And the mechanical clock, the barometer, and the thermometer, the optical glass, were all by Italian inventors. So this young boy, this young man, he loves math very much. From when he was little, he loves numbers, right? And he loves, yes, and he loves to read, you know which book? Which book? The Bible. That's right. And he says, I find math, science, chemistry, all in the Bible. He says, I love to be able to share God's love because I know that I am a great plan in God's creation. Since I was a little boy, says Canaan, a physics student now at the University of Catania, I try to learn about science. And I make sure that I read every science books I can hold on. But I did not leave my Bible aside. I especially love the verse that says, look up into the skies and count the stars if you can. So how many of you have tried to count the stars? How many did you count? 1, 2? All right. All right. So they're countless, right? You start, and by the time you reach 100, you got lost already. Okay? So this little boy, or this young man now, Canaan, that is his favorite verse, and you can find it in Genesis 15, verse 1. He says, I like the stars most of all, because they reveal the incredible power of God who created incredible things. If you compare our smallest to the biggest universe, it is fantastic, he says. And now he is at the University of Catania. And right there, since he was a little boy, he was always a shining light in his school. He says, I have discovered something. And I want to discover something that is in astronomy, something related to creation, because I know that there is. He continues, I have chemistry, maths, biology, all I've learned also in the Bible. The wisdom of God can be seen in the Bible and in all things, he says. Canaan isn't shy about sharing his love and his faith. Even in high school, in university, he tells others about God's creation. So how many of you shared Jesus at school this week? All right, good job. So he is so smart that being a Seventh-day Adventist, Canaan would compete. He would not compete, as he was invited to be in the mathematical Olympia. And so he got so scared because this competition was to be held on a Sabbath. And so he said, oh no, my opportunity of a lifetime has gone out of my hands. But Canaan prayed and he said, you know, Lord, you know how much I love maths, and I want you to help me. And so he decided that he would write letters to the organizers of the Math Olympia, and he explained to them his situation. Canaan asked if it might be possible to change this on another date. Do you think they listened to him? Yes, God is great. And so the staff, the people from the Math Olympia from all over the world gathered and invited him, and they questioned him about his belief. And they said, but why do you keep the Sabbath? The group wanted to know, and Canaan explained to them that Sabbath was rooted in creation when God rested on the seventh day and sanctified it, as it reads in Genesis chapter 2, 2 and 3. And this, of course, led them to ask, why do you believe in creation? And so they had such a difficult time understanding this young man's true beliefs. And so Canaan replied, they didn't have to see everything through the same lenses. He said, maybe religion doesn't exclude science, but there are many things we can know and we don't know. And nature has so many things to teach us and to prove that there is intelligent design. The Creator put all the parts together. We didn't come to this world from chaos. We are part of God's plan, something that God created. And so the Olympian leaders were all so shocked. They had never heard anything like this in a competitor before. And guess what happened? After discussion, they told Canaan that they were delighted to see such a firm faith in him that they would change the date to a Friday. And so Canaan was able to participate in the Math Olympia in Sicily. And so, even though he came in first, but he did do a very good high score that won him a national scholarship to another university. And so he says that Canaan witness continues, and recently he has been talking with the professors about gravitational waves that were detected just this year, 2016. So this is a true story, something that is even happening now. So boys and girls, remember that God has a great plan for you. And in the Bible, you can learn about everything. So even though Canaan is so very smart, he reads all the science book at school and everything. What does he not leave aside? The Bible. That's right. So if you want to be smart like Canaan, make sure that you read your Bible every day. Okay? And in there, you would see God's wonderful creation. Have a wonderful Sabbath and be quiet now as we're in church.